Okay, this is Unit 9, Lesson 2. This is about the area and perimeter of parallelograms. Okay, let's look at a few things about parallelograms before we get started here. So, this is what we have. Okay, to find the area of a parallelogram, begin by showing the height, also called the altitude, of the triangle in two places. Okay, so you draw your dotted lines like we've got here. Notice that each of these dotted lines is perpendicular to the base. Okay, now you think of removing the triangle that's on the right hand end, which is triangle CED. If you cut that off and move it to the left side and turn it the same orientation that it had, then this forms a rectangle. So from what we talked about in the previous lesson, all you have to do is to compute the area is to multiply the length, which is the base here, times the height, which is this right here. Okay, so the next thing we do is to find the area, you multiply the base times the height. So our formula is area is equal to base times height, or A is equal to BH. Just as we had with the rectangle, to get the perimeter, you add the lengths of the four sides together, and that gives you the perimeter. Okay, let's look at example 1. Okay, so with example 1, here's what we've got. They want us to identify the base and height of the parallelogram and then use them to find the area. And then once we've done that, they want us to find the perimeter. Okay, so the base here is equal to 12. The height is equal to 5. So the area is going to be the base times the height, which is equal to 12 times 5, which is 60. And then to find the perimeter, we have two of the sides that are 12 and two of them that are 8. So it's 2 times 12 plus 2 times 8, which gives us 24 plus 16, which is equal to 40 units. Okay, example 2 is very similar. Once again, they want us to identify the base and height of the parallelogram, then use them to find the area. And then they want to know what the perimeter is. So once again, we look at our diagram. In this case, the 6 that's measured outside the parallelogram, but both of those are dotted lines, so they do not change the dimensions of the base, but it does give us the height, which is going to be 6. So we're going to take the base, which is 13, multiply that times the 6, so the base is 13, the height is 6. So the area, once again, is base times height, which is equal to 13 times 6, which is 78. All right, the perimeter, we calculate just like we did in the previous example. We have two lengths that are 13 and two lengths that are 8. So 2 times 13 plus 2 times 8 gives us 26 plus 16 equals 42. Okay, so let's look at example 3. Once again, they have the same instructions. They want us to find the base and the height of the parallelogram and then to use those quantities to find the area. Then they want us to find the perimeter. Notice this time they didn't give us what the height is. All they gave us is this 12 that's the slanted side over here and the fact that that is a 60-degree angle. Since that is a 60-degree angle, what this tells us is that we're going to have to use a trig ratio to set up a proportion to find this. So let's take a look and see what we got. We can identify the base, which is 18. So to get the height, which is represented by this dotted line in the figure, the sine of 60 is equal to h over 12. Okay, this is simply a proportion, so we multiply the denominator of the one on the right times the numerator of the one on the left, which gives us 12 sine 60 equals h. Okay, we simply put the 12 sine 60 into our calculator. That tells us that the height here is approximately 10.39. To get the area, we simply multiply the base, which is 18, times the height, which is 10.39. which gives us approximately 187.06. Then to get the perimeter, we're going to once again do the same process. So 2 times the base, which is 18, plus 2 times the height, or not the height, but 2 times the side length, which is 12, gives us 36 plus 24, which is 60 units. Okay, example 4. This time they're telling us that the area of a particular parallelogram is 96 square inches. The base is 20 inches. They want to know what its height is. So what we do is we go ahead and look at our formula, which tells us that the area is equal to the base times the height. Substitute in the values we know. Since we know the area is 96, we put 96 on the left side is equal to 20, which is the base, times the height. Okay, solve this by dividing both sides by 20. Gives us h is approximately, or is exactly 4.8 inches. Okay, that's all they ask us with this one. So this concludes the lesson for Unit 9, Lesson 2. If there's anything in here that's confusing to you or that you just have a question about for some reason, then all you have to do is write it down on a piece of paper so that you don't forget it before you get to class tomorrow. Bring it in, we'll discuss it, and answer the question before we continue with any kind of work. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.